Chosen one. Pause for a moment and listen carefully. What you're about to hear is not another ordinary message. There are moments when a single decision changes the course of an entire life. Not because it was dramatic, not because everyone noticed it, but because heaven did. Recently, you made a choice that seems small in the eyes of other people. Perhaps no one applauded you. Perhaps no one even understood why you did it. But God saw every detail of that moment, and what looked insignificant on earth carried tremendous weight before heaven. That quiet act of obedience, that decision to keep trusting when fear told you to quit, that willingness to move forward despite uncertainty, it became the beginning of something far greater than you realize. God is already moving on your behalf. Even if nothing around you appears different yet, something has shifted in the unseen. Doors are beginning to unlock. Circumstances are quietly changing. Pieces that once seemed impossible to move are already being arranged by His hand. Before we go any further, type Amen in the comments if you believe God honors even the smallest step of genuine faith. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover will help you understand why your recent act of faith matters so much, and why the breakthrough you've been praying for may already be closer than you think. Your miracle wasn't released by coincidence. Neither was it delayed by accident. God watched the exact moment you chose faith instead of fear. He saw you continue walking even when your strength felt almost gone. He noticed the silent battles no one else knew you were fighting. He heard the prayers you whispered through tears. He watched you keep believing when every visible circumstance suggested you should give up. That moment mattered, far more than you know. While others only saw another ordinary day, heaven recognized an act of trust that echoed far beyond what human eyes could see. You chose kindness when bitterness seemed easier. You chose forgiveness when resentment felt justified. You chose hope when discouragement surrounded you. And every one of those decisions became evidence that your faith was still alive. Because of that, God began moving in ways you cannot yet fully see. Many people assumed your situation would never change. They saw your struggles, they saw your setbacks, they saw your waiting. But they couldn't see what God saw growing inside your heart. They couldn't see the courage that was quietly becoming stronger. They couldn't see the endurance your difficult seasons were producing. They couldn't see the unwavering faith developing beneath the surface. God saw all of it. That's why what appeared to be a small decision became a turning point. The miracle He's releasing isn't simply an answer to one prayer. It's the beginning of a new direction. It's a reminder that He's actively involved in every detail of your journey. Your recent step proved something important. It proved your heart still trusted Him. Even when the future looked uncertain, even when the answers hadn't arrived, even when your emotions told you to stop, you kept moving. Faith like that never goes unnoticed. God responds to hearts that continue believing when circumstances offer no guarantees. That's why new possibilities are already beginning to form around you. You may not recognize them immediately. Some changes will happen quietly, others will arrive suddenly, but every one of them is connected to the work God has already begun. If this message is strengthening your faith, take a moment to like this video so someone else who needs this encouragement can receive it as well. Now hear this. Your miracle isn't limited to solving today's problem. God is doing something much deeper. He's reshaping your future. He's aligning relationships, preparing opportunities, softening hearts, opening conversations, removing obstacles that once seemed permanent. Even now, while you wait, He's working behind the scenes. Situations that appeared completely blocked are beginning to loosen. Doors you believed were permanently closed are slowly being reopened. What once looked like the end of your story is becoming the beginning of a new chapter. Think about the nights when you wondered whether your prayers were reaching heaven. God remembers every one of them. Every whispered prayer, every silent tear, every exhausted moment when you continued believing despite having no visible evidence. None of it was ignored. Your recent decision became proof that your faith was still alive. And when a heart continues trusting God through weariness, heaven responds. That's exactly what's happening now. The miracle already in motion is reaching places you've worried about for a long time. Some answers will unfold gradually, allowing your faith to grow alongside them. Others will appear unexpectedly, leaving no doubt that God's hand was involved. When they arrive, you'll recognize His fingerprints all over them. The ending you feared will become the beginning you never imagined. Never forget this. God wasn't looking for perfection. He was looking for sincerity. The world celebrates impressive accomplishments, but heaven celebrates faithful hearts. Your step didn't have to be flawless. It simply had to be genuine. And because it came from a sincere heart, it carried tremendous power before God. Many people never understood what you were carrying inside. They only saw your outward life. They couldn't see the emotional weight, the quiet disappointments, the private struggles, the battles you fought without anyone standing beside you. But God saw every one of them, and He watched you keep moving anyway. That perseverance became a testimony before heaven. That's why the miracle unfolding now isn't random. It's God's loving response to the faith you refuse to let go of. As the days ahead unfold, hold tightly to peace. Not every change will happen the way you expect. Some blessings will arrive through conversations you never anticipated. Some through opportunities you never planned. Others through doors you believed would never open again. Don't resist those moments. Receive them with gratitude. Because God isn't only bringing relief from today's burden, He's preparing you for tomorrow's purpose. Every step you take from this point forward is leading you toward deeper healing, greater peace, renewed strength, and a future shaped by His faithfulness rather than your past struggles. There will still be moments when doubt tries to return. When that happens, remember this truth. Your miracle didn't begin the day you saw visible results. It began the moment you chose faith. Even when your eyes cannot see movement, God's hands never stop working. He's already arranging what comes next, and before long, you'll begin noticing the evidence. Peace where anxiety once lived. Unexpected favor arriving at just the right time. Opportunities drawing closer. Direction becoming clearer. These aren't coincidences. They're the first signs that God's promise is already unfolding in your life. As you continue listening, I want you to understand something that can completely change the way you see this season of your life. The miracle God has begun isn't only changing your circumstances, it's changing you. Before you ever recognize the blessing with your eyes, He begins strengthening your heart. Before the answer becomes visible, He prepares your spirit to receive it. That's why some of the greatest miracles begin in places no one else can see. Right now, God is working beneath the surface. He's restoring peace where anxiety once lived, replacing confusion with clarity, exchanging discouragement for quiet confidence. These changes may seem small at first, but don't underestimate them. They're evidence that heaven is already moving. Many people believe miracles only happen in dramatic moments. They expect instant change, immediate answers, visible breakthroughs. But God often works differently. He begins with the unseen. He heals the heart before changing the situation. He strengthens your faith before opening the door. He prepares your character before revealing the blessing. That's why your recent step of faith mattered so much. It wasn't simply an action, it was a declaration. It told heaven that despite everything you faced, you still trust God. That declaration carried tremendous power. You may have felt weak when you made that decision. You may have questioned whether your faith was enough, but God wasn't measuring the size of your strength. He was looking at the sincerity of your heart, and that's what moved Him. There were battles you fought that no one ever knew about, moments when you smiled while carrying incredible pressure, days when you encouraged others while wondering how much longer you could keep going yourself. You carried burdens in silence. You continued praying when answers seemed delayed. You kept believing when circumstances gave you every reason to stop. God saw every one of those moments. Nothing escaped His attention. Every prayer mattered. Every tear mattered. Every act of obedience mattered. Your recent decision wasn't the beginning of your faith. It was the evidence that your faith had survived everything life tried to do to destroy it. That's why heaven responded. Not because you were perfect, but because you remained faithful. As the days ahead unfold, don't become discouraged if every answer doesn't appear overnight. Some miracles arrive all at once, others unfold one step at a time. God knows exactly which process will strengthen you most. Sometimes He allows you to witness each piece coming together so your confidence grows with every step. Other times, He surprises you with answers you never expected. Either way, His timing is always perfect. Pay close attention to the small changes happening around you. A conversation that suddenly becomes easier, a burden that no longer feels as heavy, an unexpected opportunity, a door quietly opening, a new sense of peace settling over your heart. These aren't random moments. They're reminders that God is actively working behind the scenes. You'll also notice something changing within you. Fear won't control you the way it once did. The anxiety that kept you awake at night will slowly lose its influence. The uncertainty that once overwhelmed your thoughts will begin giving way to peace. That's one of the clearest signs that your miracle has already begun. God isn't simply changing your future. He's transforming the person who will walk into it. When doubt tries to whisper that nothing is happening, don't listen. Doubt always focuses on what it cannot see. Faith remembers what God has already promised. Go back to the moment you chose to trust Him. Remember the courage it took. Remember why you moved forward. That same God who gave you the strength to take that step is still walking beside you today. He hasn't left. He hasn't forgotten. He hasn't stopped working. If these words are speaking to your heart, take a moment and tell me in the comments what you're trusting God for today. Your testimony may become the encouragement someone else has been praying to receive. There will also be moments when unexpected peace settles over you without any obvious explanation. Treasure those moments. They're often God's gentle reminder that He's still in control. When your heart becomes quiet, when your mind begins resting instead of racing, when hope rises again after a long season of discouragement, recognize those moments for what they are. They're signs of His presence. God is preparing you for more than a single breakthrough. He's preparing you for an entirely new season, a season where your faith becomes stronger than your fear, where your peace becomes greater than your pressure, where your confidence is rooted in His promises instead of your circumstances. Everything you've endured has been preparing you for this chapter. Every delay taught patience. Every disappointment developed endurance. Every unanswered prayer deepened your trust. Nothing has been wasted. God is weaving every part of your journey together into something far more beautiful than you can currently imagine. So keep your heart open, stay faithful, continue trusting Him, because the miracle that began when you chose faith is still unfolding. And every day brings you one step closer to everything God has already set in motion. As you keep walking forward, remember this: God never begins a work with the intention of leaving it unfinished. If He has started moving in your life, He will faithfully continue until every piece is in its proper place. That's why you don't have to fear what you cannot yet understand. You only need to remain faithful to the one who already sees the end from the beginning. The miracle unfolding around you isn't happening by chance. It's connected to your purpose. Every lesson you've learned, every battle you've survived, every prayer you've whispered, every act of obedience that seemed unnoticed has prepared you for what God is about to reveal. Nothing has been wasted. Even the seasons that brought tears have become part of the strength you carry today. There were times when you questioned whether your struggles had any meaning. You wondered why progress seemed so slow, why answers felt delayed, why doors remained closed despite your prayers. Looking back, you'll begin to understand something beautiful. God wasn't ignoring you. He was preparing you. He was shaping your heart before changing your circumstances. He was building the character needed to carry the blessing He had already planned for your life. Purpose always requires preparation. And preparation often happens in quiet places where no one else can see. That's exactly where you've been. Every difficult season has refined your spirit. Every disappointment has strengthened your endurance. Every delay has deepened your dependence on God instead of your own understanding. Now those hidden seasons are beginning to produce visible fruit. Don't be surprised if people begin noticing a change in you. Some will recognize a new piece in your voice. Others will notice a confidence that wasn't there before. They may not understand what's different, but they'll sense that something has changed. That change isn't something you created. It's the evidence of God's work within you. As this miracle continues unfolding, you'll begin seeing opportunities appear where there once seemed to be nothing. Conversations will happen at just the right moment. People will enter your life carrying encouragement you didn't even know you needed. Doors that once seemed permanently shut will begin opening naturally, not because you forced them, but because God's timing has arrived. Every opportunity won't simply be about success. Many of them will become part of your purpose. God isn't only blessing you for your own benefit, He's preparing your life to become an encouragement to others. The hope He's restoring within you will strengthen someone else's faith. The peace He's placing inside you will become visible to people who desperately need hope. Your testimony will remind others that God still keeps His promises. Never underestimate the influence of a transformed life. Sometimes the greatest sermon a person can preach is the way they continue trusting God through every season. People are watching, not because you're trying to impress them, but because genuine faith naturally inspires those searching for hope. That's why this season matters so much. God is preparing you to carry greater influence with greater humility. As these blessings begin appearing, protect your heart. Remain grateful, remain teachable, remain dependent upon God. The same faith that carried you through difficult seasons will also keep you grounded during seasons of abundance. Don't allow success to replace surrender. Every good thing you receive has come from God's faithful hand. Remember where your strength comes from. Remember who carried you when you were too weak to continue. Remember who remained faithful when everything else seemed uncertain. That remembrance will keep your heart steady no matter what blessings arrive. There will still be moments when old fears try to return. You may hear thoughts whispering that nothing has truly changed. Don't give those voices authority. Fear always speaks from yesterday. Faith always looks toward what God is doing today. Whenever discouragement tries to settle into your heart, return to the truth God has already spoken over your life. He hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't abandoned you. He hasn't stopped working. Every day He continues arranging details you cannot yet see. Every prayer you've prayed still matters. Every promise He has spoken still stands. If this message is encouraging your heart, consider sharing it with someone who's been waiting for hope. Sometimes God uses one simple act of kindness to remind another person that they're not walking through life alone. Keep your eyes open during the days ahead. You'll begin noticing gentle confirmations, unexpected favor, perfectly timed conversations, quiet moments of peace, new ideas that bring fresh direction, relationships that strengthen your faith. These aren't coincidences. They're reminders that God is continuing the work He began the moment you trusted Him. Everything is moving according to His perfect timing. Nothing has been overlooked. Nothing has been forgotten. Nothing has been delayed beyond His control. The miracle isn't standing still. It's moving forward, one faithful step at a time. And every step is bringing you closer to the future God has already prepared for you. As this new season continues unfolding, you'll begin seeing something that once seemed impossible. The pieces of your life that felt disconnected will slowly start fitting together. What once appeared to be random delays, unexpected disappointments, closed doors, and unanswered prayers will begin making sense in a way they never did before. God has been writing a story far greater than the one you were able to see. You were looking at individual moments. He was looking at your entire future. That's why He never rushed the process. He knew exactly when every answer needed to arrive. There were seasons when you felt overlooked. You wondered if anyone noticed your quiet obedience. You questioned whether your prayers were making any difference. At times, you even wondered if God was still working at all. But He never stopped. Even during the moments that felt silent, He was preparing people, opening hearts, arranging opportunities, removing obstacles you never knew existed, and strengthening you for everything that was ahead. Looking back, you'll realize His silence was never His absence. It was His preparation. Some blessings cannot be rushed. Some prayers require the right timing. Some miracles need every piece to come together before they can fully appear. That's exactly what God has been doing in your life. He's been aligning circumstances you could never have arranged on your own. You'll soon notice conversations unfolding differently. People who once overlooked you may begin seeing your value. Relationships that seemed strained will begin finding peace. Unexpected connections will appear at exactly the right moment. These aren't random events. They're evidence that God is continuing what He already began. Every change has purpose. Every opportunity has meaning. Every open door carries His fingerprints. As these blessings become more visible, don't lose the heart that brought you here. Remain humble. Remain grateful. Continue trusting God with every new step. The miracle isn't meant to make you independent of Him. It's meant to draw you even closer to Him. Remember, the greatest blessing isn't simply what God gives, it's becoming the person He created you to be. That transformation is already taking place. The fear that once controlled your decisions is losing its influence. The anxiety that followed you for so long is giving way to peace. The uncertainty that once clouded your thinking is being replaced by quiet confidence. You're becoming stronger, not because life suddenly became easy, but because God has become your foundation. That foundation cannot be shaken by temporary circumstances. When storms come, and there will still be storms, you'll stand differently than before. Not because you've escaped every challenge, but because you've learned where your true strength comes from. The miracle unfolding around you isn't removing every difficulty from your life. It's changing the way you walk through them. That's a far greater gift. God is building unshakable faith inside you. You'll also notice your perspective changing. Problems that once felt overwhelming won't seem as powerful anymore. Challenges that once filled you with fear will become opportunities to trust God more deeply. Your heart is learning to rest instead of panic, to believe instead of worry, to follow instead of forcing outcomes. That's spiritual growth. That's what God has been developing all along. There may still be moments when discouragement tries to return. Old fears may whisper familiar lies. They'll tell you nothing is changing, that you're still waiting, that your prayers are unanswered. When those thoughts come, remember everything God has already brought you through. Remember every prayer He has already answered. Remember every season you thought you wouldn't survive, yet here you are, still standing, still believing, still moving forward. That alone is evidence of His faithfulness. Don't allow temporary emotions to rewrite eternal truth. God's promises don't change because your feelings do. His plans remain steady. His love remains constant. His faithfulness remains unshaken. If this message has encouraged your heart, I'd love to know what area of your life you're trusting God with right now. Share it in the comments, not only as an act of faith, but because your words may become the encouragement someone else has been praying to hear. And if you'd like to continue growing beyond today's message, you'll find a wonderful community waiting for you through the link in the description. We spend time studying God's Word together, encouraging one another, and walking this journey side by side. If this ministry has blessed your life, and you ever feel led to support it, there's also a link in the pinned comment. Your generosity is never expected, but it's always deeply appreciated because it helps these messages reach hearts around the world. Now hold tightly to this final encouragement before we continue. The miracle God released wasn't only meant for this season, it's preparing you for every season that follows. He's not simply solving today's problem, He's building tomorrow's testimony. Everything He's doing now will one day become the story that strengthens someone else's faith. So don't lose heart, don't grow weary, keep trusting, keep praying, keep walking forward. Because every faithful step is carrying you closer to everything God has already prepared. As we come to the end of this message, I want you to carry one truth with you above everything else. The miracle God has begun in your life isn't temporary. It isn't based on emotion. It isn't dependent on perfect circumstances. It's rooted in His faithfulness. The same God who strengthened you to take that first step of faith is the same God who will faithfully lead you through everything that comes next. You don't have to carry the future alone anymore. God has already gone before you. He's preparing places you've never been. He's arranging conversations you know nothing about. He's moving hearts, opening doors, creating opportunities, and bringing together people who will become part of His purpose for your life. Even now, while you may feel like you're simply living another ordinary day, heaven is still at work. Some blessings are already much closer than you realize. Some answers are already on their way. Some prayers have already been answered. You simply haven't seen the evidence yet. Don't allow what you cannot see to convince you that nothing is happening. God has never stopped working. There was a time when you believed your life would always feel the same. You wondered if peace would ever replace the heaviness, if hope would ever become stronger than disappointment, if the waiting would ever end. Now you're beginning to see that every difficult season was preparing you for this one. Every delay strengthened your patience. Every challenge deepened your faith. Every unanswered prayer taught you to trust God's timing instead of your own. Nothing was wasted. Every chapter has become part of the testimony God is writing through your life. As the days ahead unfold, you'll begin recognizing more signs of His hand. Doors that once refused to open will begin welcoming you. People you've never met will become unexpected blessings. Conversations that once seemed impossible will happen with surprising ease. You'll notice wisdom replacing confusion, peace replacing anxiety, confidence replacing fear. These changes won't happen because of luck. They'll happen because God has been faithfully preparing this moment all along. Never underestimate the power of the step you already took. It may have looked ordinary, it may have seemed insignificant, but it declared something powerful. It declared that your faith was stronger than your fear. That declaration continues to echo through every part of your future. Every decision you make from this point forward can be shaped by that same trust. Don't return to the fear God has already helped you leave behind. Don't carry burdens He has invited you to surrender. Don't allow yesterday's disappointments to speak louder than tomorrow's promises. Walk with confidence. Walk with peace. Walk knowing that God is directing every faithful step. There will still be moments when life feels uncertain. There will still be days when questions remain unanswered. But uncertainty is no longer your enemy. It's simply another opportunity to trust the God who already knows what tomorrow holds. Whenever doubt tries to return, remember this moment. Remember that heaven responded to your faith long before you saw visible results. Remember that miracles often begin quietly before they become obvious. Remember that God finishes every good work He begins. If these words have encouraged your heart today, don't keep them to yourself. Share this message with someone who may be standing at the edge of giving up. You never know whose faith God might restore through a simple act of sharing. And before you leave, if you're longing to grow deeper than a single video can take you, you'll find a welcoming community through the link in the description. We gather for deeper Bible studies, exclusive teachings, and daily encouragement as we continue walking this journey together. If these messages have been a blessing to your life and you ever feel led to support this ministry, there's also a link in the pinned comment. Your generosity is never expected, but it is always deeply appreciated because it allows these messages to continue reaching hearts around the world. Chosen one, never forget who walks beside you. The God who carried you through your darkest nights is the same God leading you into brighter days. The God who heard every silent prayer still hears you today. The God who gave you courage when fear surrounded you is still strengthening your heart. The miracle unfolding in your life is doing more than changing your circumstances. It's transforming you. You're becoming stronger, wiser, more peaceful, more confident, more deeply rooted in faith than ever before. One day you'll look back on this season and realize that what felt like waiting was actually preparation. What felt like delay was perfect timing. What looked like silence was God quietly arranging everything you needed. Keep believing, keep praying, keep choosing faith over fear. Keep trusting the one who has never failed you, because the miracle that began the moment you stepped forward in faith is still unfolding. Every new day brings another piece into place. Every faithful step draws you closer to God's purpose. Every quiet moment reminds you that His hand has never left your life. The road ahead isn't defined by your past, it's defined by God's promises. So lift your head, strengthen your heart, walk into this new season with expectation. The God who called you is faithful. The God who promised is able. And the God who began this miracle in your life will bring it to completion. Stay faithful, stay hopeful, and never forget, your greatest breakthrough didn't begin the day you saw the miracle. It began the moment you chose to trust God anyway. Amen.